My name's Ed Jones. This is Wilmerston Farm. We're based between Hereford and Hay-and-Wye. I took on the farm in July with 700 ewes, 120 suckler cows and roughly 600 acres of arable. We started looking a bit more in depth at what we were doing here with the ewes when I took the place on. And as a result, we really sort of went down the route of changing a little bit of the breeding to lift the prolificacy of the flock altogether. And also at this sort of grazing management that we were sort of running here as well. We're fairly heavily stocked with the ewes. There's quite a bit of pressure on the unit, so we've very much run the ewes on the same pasture year after year. When we initially looked at the lambs, we didn't feel they were growing on well enough. Some of them seemed to be unthrifty, a certain amount with diarrhea. So I consulted with the vets and Andrew at RM Jones at the time to see what we could do with that. I'd already decided at that time to feck count the lambs to see where we stood with them. I think that's been quite an important step for us, is to sort of take in the fecal samples, have them analysed and see what we are actually dealing with.
We're advisors in the animal health trade with the people qualified to help farmers make an advised choice, an informed choice on what medicines, particularly wormers, vaccines, fly control products to use in sheep, perhaps wormers and such in cattle. In order to qualify as an SQP, there is a degree of training. You have to register with the governing body who supply you with a training pack, which takes a lot of studying. There's residential courses at agricultural colleges, followed by exams. On top of the exams, then, we have a CPD, continuous professional development. We have to gain points by training and meet a level of requirement over a 2-year period. Generally, it's people coming to us, we need to do something, we have a problem with this. One thing that SQPs aren't allowed to do is diagnose, so we have to wait for the diagnosis to come to us, and then we find the best way around that problem with a choice of drugs or wormers or whatever, and timings of when to use them. There's quite a worry at the moment about effectiveness of wormers. I'm involved with SCOPS, the Sustainable Control of Parasites in Sheep, myself, so it's quite important to me professionally. Many farms have a certain amount of resistance. One pleasing thing though is that since Ed has been really keying into fecal egg counting, we've discovered we have no resistance here at the moment. We can see certainly there's not causing us a problem. Fecal egg count reduction test, which is a test done a fortnight after the use of a wormer, been coming back zero, which means the wormers are doing their job. Some farmers may say that we've wasted our time at Wilmerston with these fecal egg counting, but there's no problem. But what we do have is a fantastic picture of the health of the susceptibility of worms on this farm, which is really important. The key thing is that we know they work. We are very careful what wormers we use when here, because we use them selectively to treat a particular problem rather than blanket treat. There are worms we'll treat with any wormer. We actually select the right chemistry for the right job. I think it's really important for every farmer to actually look at what are they doing when they're worming and managing the wormers on the farm, and the worms for that matter. And you can't do that if you don't know what's going on, if you haven't got a correct picture of what's happening. So fecal egg counting is the only way to do it. So it's crucial.